Hey guys, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I've been a bit MIA building the best program that has ever existed, which is the 50K a month program. But today, actually yesterday, I was like, what piece of content should I create? Okay. And at first I was like, let me create a piece of content about the process I would take or that I would follow to scale an online service business, whether it's an agency or a consulting model from 0 to 20K a month, right? But when I first like opened up this Lucidchart app or software, I was like, why wait a whole month to make 20K? Why don't I make it in 2 weeks, right? So this piece of content will be about what I would do to start and scale an offer to 20K in 2 weeks, okay? By the way, before I go much more in depth, if you're watching this video, then I think you're amazing because amazing people do amazing stuff, right? If you don't feel like you deserve amazing shit, how are you going to create amazing shit, right? So this is just the outer stuff, right? This is the action part. But like in order to really achieve some amazing stuff that makes you feel proud of yourself, believe that you deserve it first, okay? And then come see me and then we can, build some amazing stuff together, right? But let's get in straight into it, right? First step is come up with an amazing offer, okay? And a few parts of an offer is the niche, the offer, and you know, like what you're actually promising them, okay? So first things first, if I'm picking a niche, I'm picking a niche that I can sell a high ticket service to, okay? I'm not going to be selling $1,000 services, $500 services, even 2 grand of an offer. That's too low, right? What I want to do is increase my prices to between 3 to 6K or more. If you can sell more, that's great. What helps me charge such a price is because I'm bringing a high contribution to the niche, right? You cannot go to someone and say, hey, pay me 3 grand, pay me 6 grand, and I'll help you make 5 grand back. That's not an exciting transformation that people are willing to pay such a high ticket price for, okay? So when you actually increase your prices, you are forced to create something that has a high contribution, right? So for me, I have the 50K a month program. 50K a month is close to is 600K a year, right? If I can come in your business and say, hey man, I can help you, or hey girl, I can help you scale to 600K a year, what, like, do you expect for me to charge you $1,000? It would be stupid. Well, you wouldn't even buy it. You wouldn't even trust me, right? So by me increasing the promise, which I can which I can back because I've made over 6 figures in the past like 5 months, so I can actually back it, right? Most people can't back, that's why they can't even sell anything. I can actually charge you or charge someone higher ticket, right? So step one, high ticket, high contribution. So like you're gonna have to go into learning much more stuff that makes you more valuable, right? If you want to make like 50K, 100K, 500K a month, you can't be selling $50 products, okay, or services. Um, so once I've made that decision, hey, my promise is to this specific niche. My prices will be 3K to 6K, and I'm promising them to add 500K in revenue um, in 12 months. So that's amazing, perfect. So next step is how do I get attention from the niche, right? Well, you have two things. I call them power and force. When it comes to force, so I would say that this is force. This is the force side, okay? And then you have power here, okay? What I mean by power versus force is that when you're doing outbound prospecting, you're pushing, you're using force, okay? You're not actually attracting people and making feel people feel like you attract, like you're powerful, right? It doesn't give you power when you're doing outbound, to be honest, right? But guess what? It is still required for you to launch an outbound prospecting where you're outreaching to the niche, right? You can't just rely on power because it will take you 6 to 12 months to build a brand and an audience, okay? It takes time for people to trust you, especially people that you don't talk to, okay? So let's start with the six-figure outbound prospecting campaign, okay? I would launch this before I actually think anything about building a brand or an audience, okay? The way that I would launch a six-figure outbound prospecting campaign is by picking a few channels. I would go with two, actually. I wouldn't go with three because if you pick three, then you're diluting a lot of your efforts. So I would probably pick Facebook and Instagram, okay? And next thing is I definitely am not going to be doing the work. I'm not the type of person to uh I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not necessarily like an actual worker. I mean, I will work hard, 10 hours a day. It's currently like at 9 p.m. or almost. I started working at 9 a.m. But like I'm smart, right? So I'll want to delegate stuff, right? So, and have it done without me having to do the work. So what I will do is I'll go and hire not one, not two, not three, but 5 to 10 virtual assistants. Okay. Most people have an issue. Okay. And if you ever join the program, then you'll probably go through this content, which I call volume negates luck. And I essentially go over the importance of volume. Most people, the reason why they don't succeed is because they never get to send enough volume to be deserving of success. Okay. So for me, when I'm setting a goal, instead of thinking, oh, let me start one VA at a time, let me find a proven way of doing it. No, hell no. Let me go 10 times of what I thought or what I anticipated it would take me to actually achieve the goal. So I'm going to 5x or 10x what a normal person would do about growing and hiring. Okay, so I'll hire 5 to 10 virtual assistants, give them 5 to 10 social platforms that are optimized. Okay, and then I'll pick an evergreen approach. Go. I'll not go the personalized approach because since I have 5 to 10 virtual assistants who will be bringing me a lot of attention, I cannot show a like a personal like a personal like touch to every prospect that comes into the funnel. It's almost impossible, okay? And the way you build an evergreen approach is that you build an evergreen message sequence and you use the value offer. You offer value when you're actually outreaching to people, okay? So you're not trying to build a relationship, you're not trying to conversate, it's not scalable, okay? And for the VAs, it will probably cost me $3 an hour for each VA. So if I have 5 VAs, it will cost me $375 per week for 5 VAs to work 5 hours a day. And let's say if I have 10 virtual assistants, it will cost me um, $750 per week. And that's Canadian dollars with 10 virtual assistants, guys. 10 people who you can train to become the best people on earth, right? Only costs you 750. That's pretty insane to me, right? And then I launch the campaign. I get them to start building, start conversations, start building relationships, and they can easily do 500 conversations per day. So they can actually start a conversation with up to 500 or even more 500 qualified leads. Not like people who aren't qualified just sending cold emails. No, like actual people, 500 people every single day. Okay. And then after that, while they're doing the outreach, well, I have free time. So what I do is I focus on branding my focus on building a personal brand and focus on growing my audience, right? While they're doing all this stuff, they're also building my audience, right? Because they're talking to people, bringing them to maybe to become friends, to follow me or anything. Like they're actually building awareness to my offer, okay? But for me, what I focus on and what you should be focusing on as an entrepreneur and someone who owns a brand, who owns a company, is you need to create content. Content is something that you can't necessarily delegate. It's almost impossible because my perspective is I cannot teach someone to think like me. I can probably give him insights and teach him the things I know, but the way like information synthesized, you cannot actually delegate that. Okay? Of course, you can find smarter people than you who can be smarter than you in certain areas, but building content is something that is a bit tricky. If you can become really good at it, then you deserve to be making over multiple six figures a year easily. Okay? So while the VAs are, chugging away every day just doing the numbers, right? What I'm doing is I'm building a few pieces of content, okay? Since this process is needs to be done in 2 weeks, well, I don't have a whole 6 months to build content, right? So what I will do is in the first 2 days, I'll build these four pieces of content, okay? The process or mechanism used to deliver transformation to my niche, like, hey, how do I actually go about helping you guys? How do I go about helping you guys add 100K to 500K in value every single year? Okay? Build and document a process like an actual flow chart, just like I'm showing you guys here. Okay? And I want to build a second piece of content that changes beliefs, right? The reason why beliefs are so important is because if someone believes in what I'm saying, they automatically buy what I'm selling, right? I'll try to repeat that. If someone believes in what I'm saying, they'll buy what I'm selling, right? I think that's cool, right? But like oh my God, like I cannot preach this enough. Like maybe this is even worth 20 grand. You want to sell people, change their beliefs about something. Okay? There is a process about changing beliefs. It's not like you don't make it in one piece. Like you'll not. It's like there is like an actual framework. Okay? Especially in video sales letters. And it's really amazing. But if you can change someone's belief about something and actually get them to believe the same thing that you believe, like you don't need to be good at sales. You don't need to have a good product. All you have to do is show them the thing, turn them into believers, and you have customers for a whole lifetime. Okay? So I would create a piece of content around that. Around, hey guys, this is why you guys should work with us, right? And this is the next piece of content. Like, why us? Why not my competitors? Why join the 50K a month program, right? Why don't you just join this program showing you how to run paid ads for your agency, right? Why us, right? I would make a piece of content around that. And then outcome of working with us. You actually want to showcase what's the outcome of signing up on your offer or signing up for your service, whether that's done for you, done with you. You want to actually project them into the future of them achieving their desired outcome or the outcome that comes from working with you. Okay. And then guess what? Um, I'll also buy an audience. I'll not wait to build an audience organically. Uh, scratch that. I will not do that because what you guys don't understand is that buying an audience is like a write-off. It's a business expense. Okay? So I could easily go find any niche that I end up deciding to pick. I could go and find them within a specific audience that someone has paid to assemble. Okay? So I personally, spend thousands of dollars to buy audiences and, get a guaranteed 300K from that audience, right? I could literally invest. I have an audience that I paid for maybe like $1,000. I've probably made like over $60,000 from it. Okay. So when I tell you to buy audiences, like please pay attention. Okay. And if you want to know how we go about doing that, then we can talk about the program, right? But the good thing is that once I buy access to that audience and I'm nurturing it and actually bringing it to my own audience, well, guess what? They'll go through all this content and it will nurture them and get them to engage, okay? And then this will also feed into the 500 conversations started per day. Most people can't even get um, responses from their outreach because their profiles have zero content. They have zero like it literally seems like a fake profile. So I'm like, why would I start talking with someone who like I can't even relate to? Like there is nothing, okay, that entices me to start a conversation or even respond to your cold DM, right? So the content will nurture them so well, especially if you talk about things that they care about, okay? And you know, And then that's that, right? So you mix this stuff, and you get the following KPIs, okay, or metrics. 20% of all prospect will respond. So let's say if we send a cold DM to 500 people every single day, well, we will get 100 people to actually respond, okay? And 25% of them will be qualified, right? Because we still work with people who are serious about their business. Like, I don't want to work with people who are just like thinking about like starting. That's not qualified. So 25% means 25 qualified prospects every single day. Okay. And since like I said, we're not going and building relationships. What we're doing is we're using the evergreen approach. So what we do is we send them to a VSL. Okay. Not a VSL funnel. No way. Not that. You don't want to complicate the process. Like I said, I have 2 weeks to make 20K. I don't have time to have someone build a funnel. Okay. And I don't have time to gather, collect assets and things like that and build a funnel and think about copywriting and stuff like that. No way. I don't have time for that. What I do, literally build something, do it on Loom and use Loom. I've probably the 140K that I've made in the past 5 months, I've probably done 6 figures from just using Looms, right? Converting people through Looms. I rarely ever, like you guys could go on my website. Let's actually go visit it. My website is not even about the 50K a month program. Like it's still about the us building outreach for our appointment setting agency, right? And I'm still making sales. So when people like say, "Oh, I'll have to build a website before I start everything," I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, you like being remaining broke, so go build that website if you want, right?" But I don't have to build a VSL funnel. Although a VSL funnel is pretty easy, you could just put up one headline and get people to click to add their emails to watch the video. But I don't want to go through that. We have 2 weeks to make 20 grand, right? So 25 people go through the VSL every single day. 10 to 20% will be interested. 100%. I can guarantee you. I mean, at least if you know how to create really good offers and really good promises, then you should easily get 10 to 20% interested. Okay, that means 2 to 5 interested warm leads every single day, and I could easily get 50% of them to book a call. Okay, when I'm prospecting on Facebook, I easily get like 5 to 10 meetings in a single hour, right? So I'm using this more like a niche that is cold to who I am. But if you have a network and an audience, like these metrics will be way higher, okay? But this is more for someone who's starting out, who's going to a cold market and things like that, okay? So that means that with a 50% booking rate, I'm getting 1 to 2 qualified leads per day. And that means that it's 5 to 10 calls per week, right? Since we're getting them to, in the evergreen value approach, which is we actually get people to commit to us, there is a lot of micro commitments, like giving us their emails, accepting to watch the VSL, gathering feedback, telling us what they loved about the VSL or the value video, right? And then from there, we add a call to action to a call, and then they decide to hop on a call with us, right? That means that anyone who ends up deciding to get on a call with you if you end up following this process, the conversion, like the closing rate goes through the roof. I literally have clients who have never been on a sales call, on a single sales call, guys. They get on a sales call with a brand making like over like 6 figures, a year, and they close them on that call. Not because they're so good at sales, but because what happens before the sales calls, okay? So I could easily get 50 to 75% closing rate on all the calls that I take, okay? And that means that if I'm getting 5 to 10 calls a week, the lowest amount I can make is 15 grand to 30K per week, okay? So that's pretty good, but let's actually factor in the cost. If you add in the cost of the VAs, let's say $600, let's round it up, okay? And let's say I had closers. Let's say I'm not taking calls, okay? So that's optional because I'm getting 5 to 10 calls a week. I could easily take 5, 10 so calls a week, right? I have the time to do it. Um, but let's say I have closers, right? Most people want to hire closers nowadays. So it would probably cost me 2K. So I compared it for both things, right? So it's 15% of let's say it's like 10-15% commissions. Let's say on the lower side, if I made 15K in a week, I'll probably be paying 2 grand in commissions. Okay. If if I make 30 grand, then it will probably be around 4.5K. Okay. And let's say I have employees, I have people who help me deliver on the transformation, then it will probably be like 15% to deliver on the service, right? So that's around 2.25, 2,250, yeah. So 2,250 bucks, right? For the 15 grand a week. But let's say if I'm selling the 30K a week, then it's 4.5K, 4.5K on the delivery, right? Which sums up that for the 15K week, I'm going to have expenses of 4.5K. And for the 30K week, I'm going to have expenses of $9.6 thousand. Okay. So profit wise, if I focus on selling the 3K offer most of the time, I'll make 10.5K in profit for 1 week. But if I sell the 6K offer, I make 20,000 for $100 every week, right? This is why it's so important to sell high ticket, guys. It's like you could make so much revenue from just 5 to 10 calls a week that it becomes ridiculous. Okay? That's why when you see people making like, oh yeah, I made 15 grand in a day, I made 40K in a day. Yeah, so what? It's easy, right? And a belief you guys I would recommend to have is don't think that going from selling $1,000 service or a 1.5K service to let's say a 4K, 5K, 6K, that it's double or triple the effort. It's probably like 1.5 times harder, right? So it's not even twice as hard. It's literally just a bit more push and a bit more qualifying steps, and you're done. You're making 3 times as much as you were making while grinding 50% less, right? So this is how I would go about making 20K in a single week or in making 20K in 2 weeks, right? Forget about waiting a whole 6 months to make 20 grand in a month, right? You can make it in 2 weeks, right? But you need to have systems in place, right? And I made this, but this is more of a like a simple process, right? But within the actual um, High Familiar Agency Action Plan, we actually have a step-by-step of doing this, right? Step by step, right? To scaling to 50K per month, right? I don't want to show you guys this, and I have a much better Lucid chart for this one. It's just that I wanted to create one from something that is more basic, right? To walk people through the thing, right? But as you guys can see here, we have a much more detailed process, step by step, to doing it, okay? Whether that's brand and audience growth, something much more detailed, right? But yeah, this is pretty much it. Like this is how you would go about making 20 grand in scaling to from 0 to 20 grand in 2 weeks. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you actually would like to learn more about what we do for the 50K a month program, I'd be happy to jump on a call with you, understand your current situation, establish where you want to get to, and see if we can help you from crafting better offers, more high ticket offers, okay? Help you actually find the best sub niches for you if you're in e-com that you can get results in. Um, Help you add virtual assistants who can actually take care of your outreach from finding the prospects, from maybe using a few softwares like Lemlist, Snove.io, things like that, to helping you buy audiences, right? So you can actually stop struggling and competing with everyone else. And then helping you brand your agency and literally get people coming to you and saying, hey, I want to work with you. Here's 5 grand. Okay. And then maybe one day helping you build more of a consulting offer, right? But that's pretty much it. But like guys, this is it. High ticket offer, 3 grand minimum. It could even be monthly, right? It doesn't have to be one time. Six-figure outbound prospecting, you need the force, and then you need the power, which comes from branding. Um, and because once people love you, they love you, right? I have people who buy from me when I'm not necessarily the best in town, but they still buy from me because they appreciate me as a person, and that beats even having someone who's maybe more qualified because I've built a branding, like a personal brand, just a smaller one, right? I'm not crazy like that, but yeah, like guys, branding, being really good at building outbound campaigns is really effective, okay? So and just picking the right niche and the best offers, right? This is what we help our clients do. So if you'd like to learn more, then shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'd be happy to help you. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.